My sister announced her wedding on my date and my parents are paying for hers, not mine. Hi Reddit, I, 28F, got engaged last year to my fiancé, Daniel, 31M. We've been together for 5 years and decided we wanted a spring wedding. After months of planning, we finally booked our dream venue for May 17, 2025. It's a gorgeous garden venue with an indoor hall for the reception, and we've already paid deposits for the florist, caterer, and photographer. We're paying for most of it ourselves, with a small contribution from Daniel's parents. My parents said they weren't in a position to help, and I accepted that. Enter my sister, Laura, 26F. She's been dating her boyfriend, Matt, 27M, for a little over a year. Last weekend, during a family lunch, she stood up and announced that they were engaged. Everyone cheered, and I was genuinely happy for her, until she said, "We've actually already picked a date, May 17th. It's just such a magical time of year." I nearly choked on my water. I said, "Laura, that's our wedding date. You know that." She looked confused at first and then said, "Oh, right. I forgot. But we've already told people and booked a venue." Turns out she didn't forget. She booked her wedding last week, after my mom apparently told her my date and suggested it would be so much easier if both weddings were on the same day. Two birds, one stone, my mom said. They are now throwing Laura a huge wedding at a vineyard, and my parents are paying for all of it. When I confronted my parents privately, they basically said Laura deserves a beautiful wedding, and that since I'm financially stable, and already had things booked, I should just understand. I told them it was completely disrespectful and asked why they didn't help us with ours if they had money for hers. My mom said, "Well, Laura's always needed a little more support." I'm crushed. Our guest list overlaps by about 70%. And several family members have told me they'll have to choose Laura's wedding because it's closer, or nicer. Some even said they assumed we'd just move our date. Daniel is furious. He wants to uninvite my parents and sister, but I'm torn. Am I being too emotional? Should I change the date just to avoid the drama? Or stand my ground? Update. Hi again, Reddit. Thank you for all the support on my last post. It honestly helped more than I can say. A lot has happened. First off, I didn't change my date. After talking with Daniel and reading through the comments, I realized this wasn't just about a wedding. This was about years of favoritism and me constantly being expected to make room for my sister. I tried one last time to speak with my parents. I invited them to lunch and calmly explained how deeply hurt I was. I showed them our contracts, the money we've spent, and pointed out that we told them about the date months ago. My mom said, "It's just a date, honey. It's not the end of the world." My dad was quiet but didn't defend me. Then I asked, directly, "Are you really paying for Laura's wedding while contributing nothing to mine?" My mom shrugged and said, "She doesn't have your resources." That was the final straw for me. So, Daniel and I made a hard decision. We uninvited my parents and Laura. We didn't make a public announcement or anything, just a private message stating that due to their conflicting plans, we understood they'd be busy that day and we wouldn't expect them at ours. The backlash was immediate. My mom blew up my phone. Laura called me selfish. A few extended family members said I was tearing the family apart. But others reached out to say they were proud of me for standing up for myself. Also, about 40 guests changed their RSVP to confirm they'd be at our wedding, not Laura's. Turns out, not everyone was okay with what they did. Daniel's family has really stepped up too. His dad offered to cover our remaining catering balance as a wedding gift, and his mom has taken over coordinating our flower arrangements. I've never felt more loved. I still feel sad. Not just about the wedding drama, but about realizing how conditional my parents' support has always been. But I'm trying to focus on the people who do show up for me and for us. Final update. Hey Reddit, I'm officially married. Our wedding was everything we dreamed of and more. The sun was out, the flowers were in full bloom, and Daniel cried when I walked down the aisle. It was small. Just over 80 guests, but every single person there made it feel like the most beautiful, love-filled day of our lives. My parents didn't show up. Neither did Laura. No surprise. I later saw some photos of her wedding on Facebook. It looked extravagant, no doubt, but what struck me was how posed everything seemed. My cousin who attended hers told me there was tension the whole day. And apparently Laura spent half the reception complaining that people still keep talking about OP's wedding. But the biggest surprise? My dad sent us a handwritten letter a week after the wedding. He apologized, not just for missing the wedding, but for years of not standing up for me. He said he realized too late that he'd allowed my mom and Laura to manipulate the situation. And he felt ashamed. He asked if we could meet and talk when we were ready. I haven't replied yet. I want to, eventually. But for now, I'm enjoying this new chapter of my life. Surrounded by the family we chose, not the one that expected me to shrink myself to make others comfortable. To anyone going through something similar, your boundaries are valid. Your joy matters. And sometimes, starting a new life means leaving behind the parts that never truly loved you right. Thanks for reading.